Okay, everybody, so welcome back. This is Ian from Mindful Marketplace, and welcome back to A Tiny Revolution. This is our brand new publishing platform for those of you who want to build a tiny course, a tiny book, a tiny product, or build a tiny community, or any sort of tiny content that makes a big impact in 2022 and beyond. So many of you are excited about the possibility of incorporating communities into your tiny courses or your micro courses. So you're actually delivering, let's say, the course or the content on any number of the popular kind of the Podias of the world, the Gumroads of the world, or like something I did the other day using Arist, which is a SMS-based micro course platform. All those things are great, and they're all fantastic ways of delivering courses. But what if you wanted to build a cohort-based course community where you're actually delivering the interactivity and the engagement element within a popular platform? So what I've done here is I've curated a bunch of these onto a board that you can download in your members area. Again, if you're somebody who wants help building something like this, we'd love to work with you. We have a brand new studio for publishing these sorts of communities, so certainly get in touch. But for those of you who want to kind of DIY it, here are some of the options I recommend. There's Community with a K, really cool, really great circle style alternative. You have Heartbeat we're using. Heartbeat is really cool as well. Very few people know about it other than some sort of higher end cohort based course communities in the finance space and in the there's some Web3 style communities that are emerging using Heartbeat. Very cool. Check them out as well. There's Momo Board, which is free and also something that most people in my orbit haven't yet stumbled upon. Also worth checking out. Very cool. It has a very circle-like experience as well. Of course, there's Mighty Networks. Many people, in my community or watching this already are familiar with Mighty Networks. Mighty Networks is great. There are some different Mighty Networks will deliver courses within the platform itself. It has a course sort of module, for lack of the right phrase. I'm not sure that I think Mighty Networks in 2022 is the best option. It's very hard to white label a Mighty Network because of their very recognizable branding and user experience. So if you're really trying to build something that's unique to you, like let's say a course-based or cohort-based community platform where you're delivering these like kind of time metered courses like 10 days to learn this, 30 days to learn mindfulness, 20 days to learn how to cook a certain kind of meal or play a musical instrument. I don't know that Mighty Networks would really be my recommendation. Pathwrite, another very cool under the radar tool. It's an LMS. I've used it for a couple of years. It's awesome. Many of you in my community have actually taken some of our courses on Pathwrite. Pathwrite has recently built in some very unique community tools with like just really interesting. You have to check them out to really see it. You can sign up for Pathwrite for free. I feel like I'm talking so fast that some of my words aren't necessarily being articulated as clearly as I'd like, but Pathwrite is absolutely not only worth checking out, they happen to be really good people as well. I remember, just as a quick aside, when my Facebook page, our Mindful Marketplace Facebook page, was hacked and I lost 25,000 subscribers or Facebook members overnight, had lost a shit ton of money, my credit card was hacked, all this through Facebook. I actually was using Pathwrite at the time and reached out to them to let them know we were going to temporarily shutter our account with them because I had to kind of figure out what my next move was. They actually reached out to me immediately and gave us, I think it was like 3 months or something, or maybe 4 months of a free account we were paying, clients, and they just turned around immediately and said, "Don't worry about paying us. Just get your sort of stuff in order, and we'll be here when you're ready to come back and and resume paying." So really good people, and I've had really good experiences with them. And their LMS software is second to none. There's nothing better than Pathright when it comes to teaching courses. Their community engagement elements that they've just started introducing in the latter part of 2021 are also very, very good. All right, here are some other more conventional options. Circle, really like Circle. Circle's great. It has some challenges. I'm not sure that Circle is ideal for everybody. I actually like Heartbeat a lot better for those of you who are building app-based experiences for your members. But then again, there are things that Circle does really well that Heartbeat does not yet do at all. So you kind of have to test all these things out on a short form basis and figure out what works best for you. Something like Slack is free, or at least to start, and people are really familiar with tools like Slack. I'm part of some communities that are really highly engaged. Software, for an example, that I own or have bought, or kind of things I'm involved in that are delivered. The community elements are delivered on Slack, and people really seem to enjoy the Slack experience. The same is true with Discord, and if you're building like a Web3 NFT style community in 2022 or beyond, I actually would recommend something like a Discord because people in that space are really familiar with Discord, and it's kind of like the default sort of platform for folks in that artistic or NFT or Web3 sort of spaces. I've seen people try to do this on Circle and fail, and people who are creating Discord channels that are really, really popular simply because folks in that space are already using Discord and they know it well. So I know some of you in my community are building NFT style platforms for your own art or your own books or your own communities, and you're thinking about any of these options. I'd recommend checking out Discord obviously as well. Podia, for an example, we use Podia, partners.mindfulmarketplace.com. You can see our Podia store. I'm watching this football game in the background and trying, if you can hear that, you'll have to forgive the little, short little outburst that you're hearing in the background. All right, so Podia is a great piece of software for selling courses and content, but ironically enough, or maybe surprisingly, I don't love the Podia community feature set that they just kind of announced with a big splash just in the latter part of 2021. I wish I could say different about that particular feature set because it would make it really easy if we could do everything on Podia. But Podia's community features, like for an example, there's not, or at least to my knowledge, as of January of 2022, the ability to have DMs between members. It's very oriented around a single creator speaking to his or her community rather than a community engaged with each other, which is really at bottom what you want to have available if you're building a cohort-based community or a community really at all. All right, so here are a couple other options that you might not have considered. Ghost is a great platform for publishing all sorts of content, membership-oriented content. They have built-in tools that make memberships and selling selling content and a newsletter and all that sort of stuff, monetizing that sort of thing, very easy. But they don't really have great community functionality built in. Well, that's where something like Cove comes in. Cove.chat is a really great tool for building in this sort of engagement element that would really be ideal for cohort-based communities that are using a membership model, and you can do that all on Ghost. All right, so check out Cove.chat and Ghost together for that experience. Lastly, I just want to cover WordPress because I know many of you in my community are also kind of watching some of my stuff because I've done some things on WordPress in the past. Well, there are still really good options for building a community on WordPress. BuddyBoss is great and always getting better. There's a theme. There's lots of BuddyPress themes. BuddyPress is the plugin, and BBPress is the forum software. So you can actually work these things, use these together to really deliver highly engaged courses and content using LMS plugins and WordPress and Buddy Press and some of these cool themes. For an example, Vikinger is a theme that I purchased a while ago. It's very pretty, really easy to use, very feature rich, and it can really give you that circle-like experience for a one-time cost of whatever. It's like $50 or $60 or something, and then you own it and never have to pay another monthly fee again. You can also just use Buddy Press and BB Press without any additional themes and just deliver your forum experience using free plugins like these two. All right, so there are tons of options like that as well. I tend to not recommend WordPress unless you are really familiar with how to use WordPress, because it's a pain in the ass. You have to maintain it all. Like, there's a sort of a hands-on, getting your sort of fingers dirty with the guts of the platform component to using WordPress that I don't necessarily recommend anymore with options like these above. You have so many great ways with like Circle or something, or Tribe, which I don't even think I mentioned yet. These sorts of platforms make it so easy to launch a community that you don't have to do anything. They do it all for you. All you need to do is worry about building out your platform. Okay, doke. So those are my recommendations as of January. If you want to download this PDF, you can link to all of these are all linked. And if you are trying to build something, I mean, our tiny business platform in 2022 is all about serving our clients, working with those of you who really want to tap into our, or even my, experience and my sort of content and community building, bona fides or whatever. If you're interested in working with us, get in touch. I'd love to help. A couple of you this first quarter of 2022 build something great. Again, my specialty certainly is not the software, is not the tools or the tech. What I do best is create content, build communities, and sort of ideate the entrepreneurial, kind of, brainstorming or masterminding or whatever you want to call it. If you're building something and you want someone to help mentor you, I'd be certainly happy to discuss it further. Get in touch, mindfulmarketplace@gmail.com. If you're part of our community already, simply reach out and say hello within the community comments. Teach what you know, do what you love, wake up the world with your work. That may be the fastest 12-minute video I've ever done. Hopefully it didn't sound like mush, and I'll talk to everyone soon. Thanks.